G'day everyone and welcome to the second last round of the ANZCRL Combined Racing League Toyota GT86 Cup. I'm your host for this evening, Saturday 15, and with me in the commentary box today is Night Pegasus.
G'day, how's everyone going? Looking forward to this, last two races of this series. It's going to be interesting to see what unfolds. We've had some entertainment every week so far. Looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, exactly, and it's all to play for in this in the Pro division. Unfortunately, we've got both the Pro and Open drivers in the in the lobby, so we've got again two classes just like last week, or 2 weeks ago I should say. With the Open guys, Dark Racing 40's already wrapped up the titles, so all those guys are just racing for pride at this point. But yeah, the Pro division is where it's at because at the moment it's only 2 points separating Simo Racing and Colonel Lloyd. But if you're unaware, the series has 2 drop rounds that get implemented. So that means that there's 4 drivers currently in with a shot at winning this championship. Well, actually 3, I guess, because we have Simo Racing 4 leading by 2 points to Colonel Lloyd. And Dado Races in 3rd, and he trails Simo by 14 points.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. I'm just looking at on the website here, and it's according to this, it's saying that Lloyd and Simo are tied after 2 drop rounds.
Interesting.
And then we've got Dado, who's 8 points behind, and then we've got in 4th. Taipan, who's not with us tonight at the moment, and he's just trying to do some maths quickly. He's 24 points behind. So, as we've seen though all season, Lloyd, Simo, and Dado have been the 3 drivers to beat. And Lockie's been unlucky. He'd had a bit of luck. He might have been up there with them as well. So, yeah, it's tight. It's going to be interesting. Like you say, combined divisions. Made for interesting racing last fortnight. I'm sure it will again, and we've also got a couple of guest appearances by Gas and Shads, so interesting to see what they put up as far as racing.
Well, Shads returns. He was a wild card when we went to the 2 races at Monza and the China race, but he did okay in those races.
Yep. Found it a bit hard to adjust to the not having any practice in these cars, and also over on the sister channel of iRacing, he's been doing a lot of that apparently. So swapping back to project cars is a bit difficult once you've got your eye in iRacing, I've heard. Interesting, we're looking through the standings here, just in our practice. So, see, Woody must have been hard at it all week because he's up the top there.
Yeah.
Just been outpaced by Simo. 1 second faster. And just looking for Lloyd. He turned a lap yet?
No, he hasn't.
Being a dark horse.
7-0. He's biding his time, or he just keeps invalidating his lap times.
Keeping his powder dry, not letting him know how quick he actually is. Got someone off in the background there. So I got a couple of cars. So let's look for Gas. So what's Gas driving? A 138 car. So that's going to be a new one for us to try and call. Who else has we haven't seen? Shads, yeah, he was easy in the yellow and green and gold of Australia.
Yeah.
And the rest we're pretty familiar with. Simo in the number 5. Sort of the times they're going to put down, coming through the final turn now. Straight.
Ran a bit wide there. I wonder if he went too far.
Yeah, it didn't improve.
That turn 1's going to be very tricky because it's so easy to run wide there, and that curb on the exit of turn 1 is an absolute nightmare.
As we just saw Dado on the grass, and then disappear into the pits. He's
Yeah.
put in a good lap too.
Yeah, drivers get
There we go.
a multiple return to pits options, which is nice and handy when you just finish a lap and need to go back into the pits. Though not very realistic, but we're all about all about action, not exactly
That's it.
hardcore.
And in some ways it's good too, because if you mess up and you're in front of someone, you can just go bang straight to the pits and shoot back out on the track and ruin their lap, ruin their day. Although it can be a bit disconcerting when a car vanishes in front of you.
Yeah.
He's lucky his car's looking a bit second-hand already.
It's looking pretty clean on my end. Lights are on, so he's on a flyer. He actually had a couple of wheel issues just before joining the lobby.
Yeah, maybe that's just the way it's rendering. It looks like his bonnet's a bit skewy. But, yeah, let's hope for good things for him tonight. Like we're saying, he's been unlucky. He got taken out last week at Monza a couple of times through his own doing. And didn't do too well in China either. He was quite frustrated at the end. I wasn't sure. Did he put in a steward's inquiry in the end? I'm not quite sure.
No, I don't remember, but there's certainly no action taken if there was.
And I think it was a car from the open division that he tangled with.
Yeah.
So not really a lot that you can do.
It's just a bit
unfortunately.
Unlucky. With the two classes, it's it brings up these challenges. With 5 minutes to go in this practice session.
Good lap.
Yeah, Lockie up into second place in the back of that fast lap. Oh, you see how much that car bounces over that exit curb at turn 1.
There we go. He's running pretty light, so this will be his fastest laps here. That's looking pretty good. Sitting on the road well. This long sort of curve straight
right
on.
up into second.
Into pits.
Just under 32.3.
There we go. Just waiting for that, and he's got still got a fair whack of fuel in the tank there.
Probably still a qualifying run. That'll be like the first lap of his qualifying run, and not just in qualifying with only 5 minutes. All you can do is just circle laps.
Yeah. Yeah, just start getting your groove going, your rhythm going. Feel out a few more things about your car. By now you should have everything set up, ready for the race.
That is a
Bit of
difficult
drifting.
because there's a bump in the middle and it's off camber, so it's easy to get the back end around at that hairpin.
Yes.
Little sections.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
I was just saying that section that Lloyd just went through, nice and flowing. Actually, the rest of the lap flows quite nicely into the stadium. It was implemented, I believe, in the 1980s. It's been a great spectating point for many fans for many German Grand Prix.
Yeah, it gives them a good chance to see the cars up close, because before they put in the chicanes, and I know this is the short course, it was a pretty long circuit, and they're going basically full throttle for I probably think about 70% of the lap round here on the old circuit. So not much of a chance to see the cars. It's just like whoosh whoosh, and here they come, there they go. So yeah, great place for spectators in the stadium.
There's Lloyd's making an overtake. Has he overcooked it? No, he's hung on. No, he has overcooked it and he's backed out of it.
Backed out.
I wonder who that was Metal Drive he's battling with. Metal Drive from the Open Chip.
Not metal. So that was...
So that must be one of the...
Gas.
Gas. Okay, so we've got two guys with the same livery at the moment, which is going to confuse us greatly in the broadcast, so don't hold it against us if we confuse Metal Drive and Gas.
So we say he's running 138 and Metal's running 138.
Yeah, because I think Darky's running 137. Which Darky will
So
be
we've
able
got
to...
three liveries the same,
Yeah.
except for the mirrors. Now, Lloyd's got to be closer to Simo there. Who have we got? Let's have a look at a few others. So it looks like Gears joined the party.
Hey, so he's been able to jump in. So I think the call was in the driver's briefing to take a look at this in these lobbies, well, at the lobby, and see how everyone's how the cars react, because we're at that sort of stage now with 14 people driving. It can cause a few games to weird out. So
Yeah, so we're at the max. So what's happened there? So Gears jumped in and he's lost it going out of the pits.
yeah.
And he's going for a second try.
He's at the wrong side of the cones too. Gear 3 Gaming just recently picked up his P's in New South Wales.
Yeah, so now he's been let loose in the real world.
Yeah.
Without requiring anyone to be with him. And let's hope he doesn't get a Toyota T86 by the looks of that.
Yeah. Too much power for him to handle at this stage while the tyres are still quite cold. Oh, hello. Ah, ghosts in cars.
Ghost.
We'll get through game back into the pits.
Back into the pits.
Losing struggle street at the moment.
Who have we got? We've got someone coming around just to finish their lap. They're going to get another lap in. I'll see if I can find them on the system. Lockie. Simo, here we go. So Lloyd. He's going to get another lap and he just went fastest.
2 tenths.
Looks like Lockie's.
Oh, Lockie's improved as well.
Gone in.
The times are starting to heat up at the moment, which is good to see.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 on track. No, Lockie's come in.
It's actually surprisingly tough pit lane to enter, because the where you have to slow down the Simo right on the edge.
Bit of showboating there.
Yeah, it is a difficult pit lane to enter because it is in that in-between spot between the second to last and final corner, plus the commitment, sort of where you got to get down to 60 is quite early on, so it's sort of the pit lane line is quite blind when you're coming around that corner, and once you can just see it there, you're almost got to be right on the brakes to get to 60 kilometers, otherwise you'll get a penalty. As dark racing hanging it right on the edge, and it's practice over.
There we go. Practice over. Yeah, it is quite tight. So second last corner, you've got to actually slow down more than what you would normally to make it into the pits. And as we saw Simo come in getting a bit sideways, trying to make the entrance there. So hopefully everyone makes it through and we don't get no disqualifications for speeding in the pit lane. I'm quite familiar with those. They're not fun.
Well, they're the standings up on the screen now. Lloyd doing a phenomenal job in practice, and hope he'll be looking to continue that on into the race. Same with Lockie and Simo. Shats has actually got himself into 4th place, so the 2 weeks between drinks has seen him improve greatly. Dado in 5th and Woody in 6th, so it's pretty much the pro guys ruling the top of this table. Lofvanish, Darky in 7th and 8th. Highlander, one of our wildcard drivers, is in 9th, and Metal Drive in 10th.
So you can see it's busy in pit lane.
Yeah, well, it's only a 5 minute
Everyone trying to get
session. Got to get out now.
Trying to get out first.
Can't afford not to. Time is of the essence.
So what we seen, well, they were running about 1:30s. Was that right? 1:32.
1 minute 31 was the
so they're going to get
time.
Maybe 3, possibly 4 laps in.
You won't
First
get
guy's
4
out, we'll
laps
probably
in.
get, we get
You
4.
only get 2 or 3, I would imagine. And these guys at the back will probably only get 1 or 2 laps in. If you look at that,
Quickly
Lloyd's
gonna
right at the back of the queue, so he's gonna. Oh, there goes Gear 3 Gaming.
cold tyres,
Cold tires,
like you
and
say,
as I said,
and that horrible hairpin.
yeah, there's a nasty bump and it's off camber, so there's a lot of combinations that make it a very tricky corner. Probably one of the trickiest corners on the entire circuit, which you'd find pretty rare for hairpin.
We've got Par leading the way into the stadium. Oh no, we've got a few others in front of him. Just trying to find who's out.
The Par's
Who's
done
out
well.
in first?
He missed the first couple of rounds, so he'll be able to pick up a few points tonight to really bounce himself up the table.
Yep. Been very consistent. Driving within himself.
Yeah, plenty of 3rd and 4th place finishes. There we go, he starts his flying lap. Through turn 1. Look pretty steady.
Yeah, he still had a lot of room on the outside there. Hard on the brakes, down into turn 2.
Ooh, looked a bit wobbly
It's a curve.
turning in. But seemed to be a solid exit.
Isn't all the track? Who's he got behind him? Simo's behind him.
Yeah, so
Shaw's in front of him.
I don't know who's in front, but we'll get a good gauge of how quick Simo's going by how much Simo catches up to Par. Of course, Par is a member of the Open Championship, while Simo, that's the car behind him, is in the Pro Championship. We normally expect the Pro guys to be the fastest. That's why they're put in the Pro division to start with. As Par is very new to our league. He only joined a few weeks ago, so.
And this is his first series, and you can see the difference in the lines there. He's a lot shallower on exit. Simo running all the way to the outside. So he's got room for improvement. So we'll look forward to seeing him improve over the course of next year.
Well, even just look at Simo, how much he's improved. He debuted for the league in the IndyCar series and really struggled to find his feet, but now come the Toyota GT86 at the end of the year, and he's in contention to win the championship. So, see great improvement in all the drivers that drive in our league. So, the links are in the description of the video if you want to come and join if you're from Australia or New Zealand.
Starting to see the times come in now. So Simo straight to the top, followed by Shads. There's a gaggle of cars here. Sister cars.
2.2 seconds between Simo and Shads. There's an unbelievable gap. Still yet to see Lockie, Dado and Darky set times. They've moved to get themselves out of traffic, so they'll be on the other side of the circuit to these guys.
So we've got I might say in double. Looks like we've got 2 105s in the class as well.
E3 Gaming, and I want to say that's Highlander and the sister car to E3 Gaming.
Highlander.
No, I am wrong.
So who have we got left? Who haven't we looked at? That's Woody. Woody Lizard.
Yeah. Interesting. So that's also going to bring us some confusion when the races begin.
Yes, it's going to make it difficult, isn't it?
So
especially if you're trying to race someone.
Par, Gas, Highlander and Simo are all finished. Shads has made a mistake at the final corner.
It was Woody.
Vanish has just jumped up to second. Lloyd's in the third. Down the fourth because Woody's just gone into second. It's happy hour now as guys are setting competitive lap times. Relatively. Middle drive stays in 11th. We got 10 seconds. That's the end of qualifying. So The
Hmm.
lack of time has really shaked up this grid. Simo in first with Lockie actually setting a good time to go second. Woody Lizard is into third, his best qualifying of the season. Loft Vanish in fourth with Lloyd down in fifth. Dark Racing sixth with Shads in seventh. Highlander eighth with Par ninth. Gas in 10th with Metal Drive in 11th. Gear 3 Gaming 12th. Emu 13th. And Dado Racer failing to set a time in 14th place.
Ooh, that's costly. I don't think I saw him on track actually.
Yeah,
I did early.
don't know what's happened.
Let's hope he hasn't succumbed to the 14 grid. Like
Yeah.
14 people in the lobby. But yeah, shouldn't be happy. Maybe he's playing for reverse grid, which we're not doing this week.
Or maybe just give himself a last the first challenge. He's third in the
Yes,
championship. He's
yes,
still in the hunt to snag or to win the championship. So he
that's right.
really needed to get a good qualifying position to get himself up the grid. As we're still on the
Maybe
results
he's
screen.
maybe he's thinking about avoiding the carnage at turn one for this first race, and trundling off at the rear, watch them all crash out, and then take the lead. But here we go.
Yeah, on the grid.
Everyone here. Let's get a quick rundown of fuel, hey?
They won't be updated just yet. They'll still have their qualifying fuel loads on. Like that 10 litres won't even get you close to finishing the race.
No, so here we go. First person, Woody's got 30.
If you're new to this championship, it's 25-minute races. So it's 25 minutes here at Hockenheim. Then at 8:30 we'll have 25 minutes at Bathurst. So the round 9 is in a separate stream. So if you check your sub boxes or check the YouTube channel page, the link to round 9 should be there, and I'll include the link to the round 9 coverage at the end of this broadcast. So do stay tuned. It's some brilliant racing that these guys put on and have done for the entire championship so far. And it's a
So it's looking somewhere between about 35, 37 litres. Is what 38. There we go. So did see Metal had 57 on. You're starting to get some proper readings. I think we've seen. Woody's only gone for 30.
That's right on the edge, I would imagine. I would never pick Woody to be risky on fuel, especially when we saw what happened at Monza. But here we go, syncing up. We're on the grid, the revs are rising, the red lights are up, and we're green and we're underway here at the Hockenheim National Circuit. Looks like Simo's got a good jump, and I think Woody's got a good jump on Lockie as they enter into turn 1. Simo goes through in the lead.
Oh, bad camera angle.
Yeah. Looks like Lloyd's jumped up into 4th, so he's got a good start as well, and he's going to put Lockie under a lot of pressure coming into turn 2. Woody's defending hard from Lockie, and Lloyd's giving Lockie the big hurry up. We're too wide down the back. Dado's already moved up into 13th from last place. Oh, there's a car off the grass there. That was Gear 3 Gaming on the grass there, so that'll hurt his momentum as they break into this hairpin corner. Lloyd's having a look down the inside of Lockie. Lockie trying to hold around the outside, keep the momentum up, but he's lost that place, and it's Lloyd now into 3rd place.
Go back. Dado's moved up a few spots. He just got past Metal then. Yeah, so come into the... Where are we? I've lost them. So this is a chicane coming up towards the stadium. Par there. They all seem to settle down and be pretty clean this race. Clean start. That's good stuff. Oh, a bit of a tap there, I think. Maybe.
Yep, Metal Drive putting Par under a lot of pressure as they enter the stadium section for the first time. Par's actually having a look down the inside of Gear 3 Gaming. He wants that 9th place back.
He does. Let's get back to the top of the field.
Yeah,
so coming to complete the first lap. Got Lloyd's moved up a couple of spots, chasing down Woody. Got a big run on him out of that turn there. I think he's going to get him on the straight. Meanwhile, Simo's cleared right out. At nearly 2 seconds. An easy overtake by Lloyd there.
Yeah,
Runs a bit wide.
Woody just let him go.
And who else we got? So someone else just got past Lockie. Who's that?
No,
Is that Vanish?
Lockie's been fourth place that whole lap since Lloyd overtook him. Remember, Woody started off from the front row of the grid. He's now holding third place.
Getting confused with the liveries.
We're going to the head
everything's settled down.
time.
It's starting to settle down out in front. Woody runs a bit wide.
Woody.
Maybe he's avoiding that bump we were talking about in practice. Now this is where we see Lockie get a bit frustrated. Is he going to take his time this week and just work his way past? As he learned from his mistakes, time will tell. Settled down, we've got Vanish in 5th. As we go back through the field, it's all on here. So Highlander in front of Dark Racing and Shads. Dark Racing got a tight line through there. He's got a run on, but he's on the wrong side, coming into the left-hander. This is quite a tight turn, even with the camber. He's got a run on him out of there. How's he gonna do this? Back off a bit, get a run.
He can sneak and overtake into the second to last corner. Oh, hello.
Oh, there we
Highlander's
go.
made a mistake. Now Darky's going to try push himself through, and Shads is going to try follow Darky. No, he's decided Darky got to pour momentum out. He's having a look. They're zigzagging all over the place. Gear now wants to get involved. Here you go, Highlander stays ahead, and Shads actually overtakes Darky for what's that, 7th place. Darky's now got to defend from Gear 3 Gaming, and Dado's going to try and push his way in here as well. Dado's gone down the inside of Gear 3 Gaming. Darky's gone inside Shads. They've gone side by side through turn 3 and onto the fast straight. Oh, there goes a car round. And that's Metal Drive. Metal Drive has spun it and hit the wall. And here we go, Darky now. Oh no, Highlander's lost it. Oh, he just missed that wall. There must have been a coat of paint in it.
Unbelievable. Just held on to it. I thought he was going to wreck in a big way there, but just grazed the tyres. Doesn't look like there's any damage to his car. What have we got?
Gear 3 Gamer just got tripped on the curb at the exit, and that's given Dado 9th place. And now Dado's going to hunt down these guys. He's got to make up a lot of positions to try and catch up. The next car in his class is Lockie 5.5s. Lockie being 7 seconds ahead of Dado, so Dado really wants to get a hustle on to try and claw back some points.
This is where it's all happening.
Yeah.
We see, we're keeping an eye on Woody and Lockie.
Oh, Highland just made another mistake. Gone too deep, and here goes Shads down the inside of the final corner. You rarely see an overtake there. Oh, here goes Dado looking.
I thought he was going in the wall then. He just turned to the right, and he's got Shads in that move.
Yeah, he overtook Shads. That's unbelievable.
Move back and watch
Has Shads done the switch back though?
He has. He's got him on the inside.
Oh, there's been contact.
Turned in on Shads.
I think there was contact with Dado as well. They got side by side. Cars spearing off. That was par off the grass, and there's Shads doing some lawn mowing as well.
No holds barred here. And meanwhile, that's allowed Highlander to just get clear of this group.
Yeah. So it's
get
Dark
a bit
into
of
7th, Dado into 8th, and Shads into 9th place.
Just going to go to the front. Just checking. Lloyd's moving in onto Simo.
Yeah, closing within a second. This is the
still
championship battle. 1st and 2nd in the championship, but 1st and 2nd on the road.
They're still not quite close enough there, and if we go back to Lockie and Woody, Lockie's looking to put a move on Woody here. Oh, runs a bit wide. So there's a few battle packs all around at the moment. These two, so still a bit of a space there.
Highlander's now moved into 5th place. Something's happened to Vanish. He's under threat from Dark Racing at the moment. Shads has gotten past Dado. He's out trying to have a look at Darky.
So there we see Vanish has been off somewhere. He's got some damage on the nose. Hopefully it's not too severe and his car's still drivable.
Shads and Darky. Now look down the inside of Darky, and here he goes. He makes a lunge. Can Darky do the switch back? He'll be in the slipstream now. Shads moves right, and so does Darky. He's going to push his way through.
Oh,
Oh,
this
he's
is
on the.
going to be good.
Oh no!
And Vanish is lost out there big time. And
Yep.
Shads.
Vanished,
Oh, that's
vanished
shaking
Darky
everything up.
Shads. Oh, come on, stuck at turn 2.
And Dado played the waiting game and got the free pass.
Mm.
And his car's clean, so he's done well.
Yeah,
Then we
very
have Gas,
lucky, Dado.
who's joined us for the first time tonight. He's picked up a few spots in par and gear, so they've gone from miles out to being all in a group now, picking up spots. I'm not quite sure how these other cars are
So
looking.
done Lloyd. Lloyd's fallen. He's dropped back. He's lost 8 seconds.
He's had a spin somewhere, I think, while that was all going on.
Yeah, so there's chaos
Woody and
happening
Lockie managed
everywhere. We've come to expect this in this championship.
That's it, just when we think things are settled down, somebody gets the can and shakes it up and rips the lid off, and it goes everywhere.
Yeah, Lockie's still struggling to get past Woody, so Woody's made that Toyota the widest in the world. He's actually done a very good job. He's got himself in the 2nd place, the highest place he's been all season.
Has he got enough fuel? Go back and he's gone 20. We've got Lockie on 25. So is he going to be a bit short? I'm sure we'll have a look. Go into the hairpin down here. It's going to be a question of fuel in the end.
Maybe.
Interesting to see how this pans out.
Got 16 minutes left in this race. So it's amazing to think what is going to happen towards the end.
And then of course we've got tyres as well.
Yeah, the accelerated
who's used up their tyres? In this track, I'd say the front right's going to get the front left's going to get a beating, and the way these guys are tearing out of corners, the rears are going to be looking pretty second-hand by the end of the race as well.
So Lockie's picked himself up a time penalty while this has all happened. I'm going to guess that's from running wide at turn 1. And he's kept the foot in it, trying to keep up. So I'm guessing that'll be a 1 second time penalty that will be applied at the end of the race.
Oh, it clips the cone there on the inside.
Yeah, he's
really get a slowdown.
Pushing that Toyota as hard as it can. But if he can't get past soon, it's going to let Lloyd into the fray.
Yeah, Lloyd's going to come back, isn't he? He's already he was 2 seconds faster than Lockie in that last lap.
Lloyd is the fastest person on track out of anyone. Here we go. I thought Lockie might have been having a look down the outside, but there's no room there.
Using all the track, trying to get something happening here. Can he shake Woody's nerve? Only time will tell.
Yeah.
He just seems to be a bit slower through there. Drop back a bit.
Yeah, he's been a bit very cautious, trying not to hit the back of Woody. There's some great respect from these two. They teamed up in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Oh no, there goes Woody.
Woody's lost it. Overcooked it.
Yeah, it turned too hard. And that's gifted Lockie 2nd place, which may be...
They were also... Sorry, I was going to say, they were also teammates at Bathurst this year in the V8, so... It's good to see Lockie actually take some time, be patient, wait for the mistake, rather than forcing things, but at the same time, looks like he's going to lose that place he just gained, because Lloyd's all over the back of him now. And coming down the straight, I think he's going to draw alongside. So briefly in 2nd, oh no, Lloyd's pulled out. Oh, Lockie's run wide, outbraked himself there.
Yeah, and that's Lloyd easily into 2nd place.
Easily into 2nd place.
So
and
while these guys have been battling now, just notice that Emu just got disconnected from the lobby. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Oh, Lockie's doing drifting. Again.
Yep, trying too hard. This is where the racecraft comes in. Is like, okay,
Well,
just settle for your position.
just look at the
hold
split
your
times.
station.
Datto's closed right on the back of Highlander.
Yeah. Let's go to that battle.
There he is.
Driven quite well.
Very close.
I think he's maintained the gap, hasn't he, since the start of the race? I think he's about 18
it's been
seconds down
dropping back.
after the first lap. Been dropping back.
Well, he's lost 20 seconds almost since the start of this. Since the start of the race. He's 10 seconds behind Woody, and if he can get past Highlander pretty quickly, he can start his charge towards Woody to try and get fourth place. We've got 12 minutes left in this race, so there's still plenty of time to make a charge, but he's got to get past Highlander now.
Yes, I think he's in a good spot to get him on this this lap.
And set himself up through turn one.
His car's looking pretty stable.
Here we go. He's in the draft. He's having a look. Is he close enough? He's making a lunge, but Highlander is equal under the brakes, and they hang on. Did Highlander go too deep through turn two? We'll have to see as they go down this long straight. There's a bit of a gap.
Let's jump on board.
There's still a couple of car lengths in it, so looks like Highlander is going to hang on. I think that's Highlander's goal tonight, is to prove a thorn in everyone's side. It's been a bit over a month since he concluded his since his last race at the last Bathurst 1000. Look at that, Datto's getting right up on the rear bumper of Highlander.
Yeah, I think he's got better lines. We're watching Highlander's lines. It went in through that section for the hairpin and the chicane, shallow on each of those corners, and they had Datto to close right up. Then he managed to hold the right line just at the right time. Here we go, Datto's closing in now.
Yeah.
Within a car length.
I think Highlander's car's very loose, and Highlander's actually defended for that second to last corner. Datto wasn't going to make a move there.
Puts his nose in. Oh.
Here we go, with the side by side.
Rub.
I think there we go, they're still side by side as they enter turn one. And I think Datto is going to get the move done. There we go, through turn one.
Well done. Lost another 4 seconds in that lap doing that pass.
That was a big error from Highlander. He didn't need to defend for that second to last corner, as Datto wasn't quite close enough, but by defending he's compromised his run. And in the end cost himself 5th place. So now we've got all the guys in the pro division of 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th in this lobby. And we've got a couple, the wildcard drivers actually shaking things up with Highlander in 5th and Gas in 8th. Gear 3 Gaming's actually winning the open division. He's in 7th place. He, of course, battling with Gas at the moment. Can Gas get through?
This is tight, this pack here, isn't it?
And Parr wants to go with Gas. He's trying to go side by side through this long right-hander. In fact, he's sort of switched him up a little bit. Is he going to make a move as they entering the stadium section? They've gone side by side. They're leaving each other. Parr's gone.
Oh, he held on to it.
He's held on to it.
He's allowed Darky to get past though.
Darky's now moved into 2nd place in class. 9th overall. Darky's also got himself a time penalty somewhere.
Probably because of that accident, I guess.
I think it was after trying to push his way back to the front.
Okay, well that's unfortunate for Parr. We said he's been a pretty consistent driver. He just had to bide his time there, but maybe tyres starting to tyre wear starting to take effect now. Like a grip on the rears. These cars be quite talky for their size actually. It's easy to loop it round if you're a bit heavy on the throttle. Which may have been the case there. Disappointment for him. He looked like he was going to do well. Was he still? What do we say? He's still in 3rd in his division. Even though we've got other cars in front. So opportunity to still score some good points.
You wouldn't believe this, Pegasus, but Lloyd is just closing to 3 seconds behind Simo after his
Unbelievable.
spin. He was 10 seconds back just
He was
5 minutes ago. And look at that, it's closed. The gap's closing and it's closing fast. 1.5 seconds quicker was Lloyd on that previous lap. It's down to 2.5 seconds. There's 7.5 minutes to go, and it's going to be all to play for.
We've seen it. He's fast, but Lloyd has been fast all season. He's been able to catch the leaders up after making mistakes consistently, but the issue is he's been making mistakes. So if he catches Simo and he gets past him, will he ease off or will he continue to push to make a gap?
It's hard to say.
It's hard to say, and I think this is what's allowed Simo to be so close to him in the championship. Colonel Lloyd finds it hard to rein it in.
Look at that, it's down to 2 seconds the gap. It's closing and it's closing and it's closing.
And I think that's the fastest lap of the race. 1:31.6.
Pretty close to it. I reckon he might have been quicker on that previous lap. But the speed that Lloyd's shown throughout the entire championship just is unbelievable. But it's one thing to have car speed, and it's another to have good race results. And I know that all too well. There goes Lloyd, just as we were speaking about it. He's lost it on the second to the last corner. He didn't need to drive as quickly as it was. But
he's got so much of a gap that he still maintains second place.
Yeah. But it has helped Lockie close in a lot and gives Lockie just a little sniff.
It does. Let's go back here. We've got Gas, Gear and Darky all closing within.
Yeah.
This and Par's made his way back as well.
And there's Shads in the background too. So Shads is closing in as well.
Yeah, so this is going to be the battle here.
Of this battle pack, Darky was the fastest driver on the previous lap. There goes Gas wide, and that lets Gear 3 Gaming through to 7th overall and opens the door for Darky to sneak through. He's having a look. They're going side by side into turn 1, and there's Dark Racing 40 into 8th place.
To 8th place. And these battles, they close up, don't they? They string out, something goes wrong, or they're fighting for position and allows the other cars to come back.
Yep.
It's going to be a 5-car battle here very soon.
Yeah, and these front 2 cars, Gear 3 Gaming, Dark Racing, are now battling for first overall. Well, not first overall, first in class. Let me get my English
first
right.
In class.
I promise I'm a good commentator.
Yes, I think you are.
Oh, here we go, side by side.
Side by side, free
Gear 3
wide.
Gaming made a mistake. He's now got to defend hard. And he will race you hard, Gear 3 Gaming, when he doesn't make a mistake. But Dark Racing 40 has been one of the fastest drivers in the history of ANZ Combined Racing League, consistently over the 3 years that we've been running.
He's hassling him
through the stadium section, and it's they're running bumper to bumper. This will probably be a great climax to what has been once again a brilliant race. Here we go, can Darky get a good run down this pit straight? Also Gear 3 Game got a pretty good exit, so Darky's not going to be able to make a move into turn 1. But who can carry more speed through here? Darky used a lot more road than what Gear did.
Well, I just went back to see if we could see him from behind. No.
Oh no, Gear's made a mistake. He went too deep.
He's made the mistake.
Darky put him under pressure. Well, Darky had to back out. There wasn't going to be enough room for them to go side by side. I think he's too far back to make a lunge. Gear 3 Gaming still goes defensive, and that could set himself up for a move in a couple of corners time.
Meanwhile, I think they're slowly catching in on Highlander. Oh, he's got a bit sideways. There's not long to go, probably about 2 laps to go in this race, so it's all or nothing here.
Gears not got a good run. Darky's trying to look down the outside, try and push Gear 3 Gaming into another mistake, but Gear 3 Gaming has worked on his metal throughout the year. Once again, as with other drivers, Gear 3 Gaming's improvement has been tremendous. He's much more consistent than he was this time last year. Can he apply that now? We have 2.5 minutes to go.
And meanwhile, Lloyd's closing back in on Simo again. Oh, big run by Darky on the outside.
Side by side.
Dangerous place to be. Who's going to give?
Oh no.
Racing there from both of them.
Darky got on that exit curb and that's hurt his momentum. Gear 3 Gaming lives to fight another day. Or another corner rather.
Another corner. It's holding on well.
Wide for Gear. Would that have hurt his momentum as they run down this back straight?
Under a lot of pressure.
Oh, Gear's made a mistake.
Darky's got him.
They're still running side by side.
Through.
Yep, Shads has made the overtake on par. And he's looking to get past Gas. Gear 3 still hangs on. Oh, there's a bit of a tap.
Drive. Bit of a tap there.
And now Darky's pulled alongside. Is this the time that Gear's resistance runs dry? Oh, that was so close. And there we go, Darky's taken the class lead for the open drivers.
Shads has got through on Gas, but Gear's coming back on the inside. Yeah, he's pushing hard. Oh, was there a tap there? That could have ended in tears as the cone goes flying. And we got so we're coming up to what will be the final lap.
Yep.
The Darkies managed to get a run on. Shads is trying hard on Gear. Gas is there to pick up the pieces. And Par's bringing up the end of this group. Been pretty consistent.
Shads will be trying to spoil Gear's party. I think this will be the last lap. It's hard to really judge in these timed events. But when the timer hits 0, the next time the drivers cross the line will be the end. Gear 3 Gaming is still in second place. And I don't think he quite has the car speed to catch Darky back up.
Just going to look, yeah, I think we'll go to the leaders.
Yep, they're similar across the line. So he takes first place. In the end. Followed by Colonel Lloyd. What could have been for him. And Lockie finally gets his just rewards with the podium finish. Yep.
And Woody, and look at Dado. Dado's closed right in on Woody and all that. He's going to finish just a second behind from last place to 5th. Well done to Dado. Now back to these guys. As I say, they closed in on Highlander. Highlander's got to just keep it together now. A few corners to go. Second last corner. He's run wide there most of the race. But he's got it home easily now over Darky. And then followed by Gear. Shads. Well done to Shads. Well done to Gas. Good race. His car looks pretty clean. And Par. And finally we've got Metal and Vanish, who's made a pit stop.
Oh, Gear 3 Gaming actually got the win there. Dark Racing, with that time penalty, has cost himself the class win.
There you go, 1 second too. So Gear was just good enough to keep close enough.
Yep.
to get that.
Ripper drive by Simo Racing. Colonel Lloyd got second with Lockie third, Woody first, Dado 5th. Highlander 6th, best of the wildcards with Gear 3 Gaming 7th, first in the open guys. Dark Racing 8th, Shads 9th, Gas 10th, and then Par next at the open drivers with Metal Drive in 12th, Loft Vanish in 13th, and Emu disconnecting and finishing in 14th place.
So we're looking at that time. So Gear gets the place by 0.3 of a second over Dark Racing. That's how close it was. So some good battles out there. Just as we thought everything was settling down, everyone was just going to settle into a rhythm and bring it home. It's like someone rolled the dice and decided to put some rain down and cause havoc. It's amazing. It's amazing to watch it happen. You just I suppose egos, adrenaline, all gets going, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We saw the chaos unfold with Dark Racing going for a. I'm not quite sure what he did, but he turned in miles too early and then got on the grass and then took out those 3 cars. I think it was Gear and Chad's. Yeah, caused a bit. Oh, sorry, no, it was Pa and Chad's. Caused a bit of havoc there. Shook everyone up, and then from then on, it was all fight back. And also, what happened with Lloyd? We seen him spin. We missed one of his spins. Again, he was quick, but
Well,
just I don't know, just a little mistake here and there. So all that's the difference between him being clearly the leader in the championship, and well, now I think he's in second place.
yeah. Well, unfortunately for Lloyd, unfortunately for Dado, he's no longer in championship contention after that last race. With
Well, I don't know. After what we've seen,
Well, he can
anything
only
could
gain
happen to these
18 more
leaders.
points on his current tally, and that gets him to 314, which is 4 shy of what Simo Racing is on now.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah, so what happened? What happened to his qualifying? He didn't set a time. He'll be kicking himself. That's the difference. He didn't set the time. Maybe if he'd have set the time, he could have been up there with the leaders. But you know, if it's a big word in motorsport. That was a great race. Again, pretty eventful. Yeah, some great racing.
So,
I must say the battle between Gear and Dark Racing was great. There was pretty clean driving there, and Gear held his nerve on a couple of corners where we thought he would concede to keep the place. So yeah, let's hope there's more of it.
yeah, so
coming
we're
at
gonna.
coming at the mountain.
Yep. So I've just put a link into the live chat for you guys to use to find the round 9 coverage. We're gonna have a break, reset, and we'll see you for that round 9 coverage that should be starting very soon. So we'll see you then.
See you
Goodbye.
then.